Man, my live streams are always like the erectile dysfunction because this shit don't work half the time. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. Let's be real. You thought about it. I thought about it. What's what's going on? Hold on. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you that my stream is the erectile dysfunction of all streamers. I get excited, and then guess what? Everything always goes down. I'm just saying. I enter the stream thinking things are gonna go up, but nope. Stream always goes down. Might as well just name this the erectile dysfunction of identity 5. All right. So let's get this bread. So y'all ready? Let's talk about this. All right. Okay. I gotta stop comparing things to. All right, can you guys hear me? What's going on, Eclipse? Oh my God, there's so many people. Alex, Darlin, Gigawatts. Good to see you, Gigawatts. Been a while. What's going on, Neo, Fructose, Powwow? What's going on? All right, yeah. So we're gonna talk about Call of Abyss 3 and how it's an absolute utter disaster. I'm going to tell you everything that I know from what I've been able to gather, and I'm gonna tell you why it's an embarrassment to our entire server. I'm also going to tell you why you guys are actually, in my humble opinion, incorrect in terms of where you guys are all exhibiting your outrage. Remember, it's my opinion. You're allowed to disagree with me, but I'm going to tell you where you should focus it on. Um, I gotta make sure that this like stream is working and stuff. All right, so let's get right into the gist of things. First of all, Call of Abyss 3 is an absolute disaster. I mean, an absolute disaster. The whole thing is a disaster with what's happening. Um, what we're going to do is I'm gonna actually ping everybody. All right, I totally just pinged everybody because that's the mature thing to do. Because I want to kind of get it out there, and then there we go. So, anyways, first of all, right, I'm back. Hi. All right. I've been kind of a neglectful father. I just kind of bounced on everybody, right? So here's my problem with the Call of Abyss 3 thing. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to try to be as objective as possible. Obviously, I cannot be fully objective, but we're going to get into that. So, typically speaking, you have the Call of Abyss. You're supposed to garner a whole bunch of points. And then the teams who garner the most amount of points qualify for a regional tournament. And then you compete in that regional tournament. And then the team that wins the regional tournament goes to the internationals. There's a reason why you need to know that process, and we're going to talk about that process a little bit later, okay? I know a lot of people know what happened with AO. We'll talk about AO. We'll talk about what happened, but I think that a lot of people are forgetting the accountability for what some of the other teams also did because they did cheat, and we're going to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about it. We're going to talk about it because I don't care. And just to let you know, just because if you're a member of one of those teams or whatever the case, I still got love for you. I'm just giving my thoughts and the opinions. All right, so first and foremost, what people need to understand is that when you run a regional tournament, it costs a lot of money. You have to fly the MCs out there. There's marketing, there's merchandising, there's promotions, there's graphics. So there's a lot of energy and time that is spent into the regional tournaments. Now, what we do know is that the regional tournament got removed from our server. All right. The reason why I'm making this super clear. The reason why the regional tournament was removed from our server is because our server is small, so the investment is not worth it. If you ever think that the development team is going to invest in new servers to make this game playable, they're not even willing to invest a couple $1,000s for a regional tournament. So they abandon you all. I'm sorry, but your server has been abandoned. They don't give a damn. Everything that you get is a byproduct of what they invest in China because that's where the big markets are. Okay? So we have no regional tournament in this server. The regional tournament has been removed. All right? That puts a lot of problems up. And we're going to talk about that to a degree in a second. But in regards to that, let's make that very clear. Regional tournament has been removed. To my understanding, I could be incorrect, but I did look into it, and to my understanding, I thought that some of the other servers do have their regional tournaments. It's a bigger market. There's money to be made, advertisers that can sponsor it. I do know that we're not the only server that had the regional tournament also removed. Again, this isn't clarified by the devs. I haven't really talked to them too much, to be honest with you, because I've been focusing on my own life, and instead of trying to babysit a server that a multi-million-dollar company should be able to run themselves. Furthermore, I do want to let you know that if you guys go onto Google and if you Google NetEase's profits, the last profits that got released, I think, was sometime around November of last year. They released their quarterly profits to the shareholders. They've made a shitload of money. They've made a crap load of money. In fact, there are investors who are trying to suggest that you should bet on NetEase. So don't pretend like they're hurting for money. They're making a lot of money, and there's been no additional investment in our server. I've made 2 other additional videos on that. You all can try to say that I'm bitching. Guess what? Well, you're kind of right, but at least it's somewhat right on my end because there's no investment in the server. You're not getting anything that the other servers are not getting first. Other servers get things that you don't get. And everything that you have received is based on what other servers, the investment in those servers, and then they kind of just throw it our way. So we have no regional tournament. So the reason why I'm talking about this, I'm not just bitching for the sake of bitching. I'm setting up my argument. We need to know all of that. Okay? So what happened is that now that the regional tournament has been removed, they made it so the team that wins the most amount of points in this godforsaken, awful game mode, in my opinion, that they did, because it's completely flawed, and it actually enables a bunch of people to cheat, which we'll get to. So essentially what you're saying is play the game. Whoever plays the most, you get the most amount of points, and because you got the most amount of points, we're going to send you over to China. Well, that actually helps them. That helps the Chinese market because when you have a whole bunch, so a lot of those players over there are celebrities. So there's a lot of investment in the Chinese market. So what happens is that when other servers have to send teams that are not competitive but just want it in-game mode, then it makes their teams look a hell of a lot better. You're essentially just kind of throwing sacrificial lambs or something, all right? The regional tournament is supposed to be part of the best of the best. And that's why you're supposed to qualify for the regional tournament. And then that's why there is a difference between competitive game mode, game and tournaments, versus just playing a game where you're playing rank mode that can easily be manipulated at any point in time with your friends low key. All right. And it's also based on the amount of time that you play. There are some teams that are better than others, regardless of how much time they invest. As an example, the team that maybe have came in 25th place could be better than the team that came in 20th place, but the team in 20th place just played a little bit more. So that's why we've always had a regional tournament so you could qualify. All right. Now, a lot of us already know what happened with AO. AO got caught with what looked like, and it looked really bad, by the way, with what looked like to be cheating. Okay. I'm not here to defend AO. What I will tell you is that it looks extremely bad. When I saw it, I said it looked bad. And I said that if they got disqualified, I wouldn't be completely shocked by it. But then again, I also understand what it's like when you're playing the same game mode over and over and over again, and you see your friends, and sometimes you get a little bit too friendly. Don't act like you guys have never done it. It's happened. That doesn't excuse AO for what they did, because at the end of the day, there were other players who got affected by that. Whether there was lag, whether there was not, you still should have competed to the best of your ability, regardless of lag and whatnot. So it looks bad, and I'm glad that AO took accountability for it, as you should take accountability for it, and the devs responded with a punishment that they felt they deemed fit. Let me make this very clear. Although it does look bad, and I agree that it looks bad, AO they don't need to cheat. They're one of if not, they just won the summer tournament. All right, now let's talk about some of the cheating that happened in the summer tournament. The summer tournament, AO actually, one of their best players was under the age of 16, Eero. For any high-tier player in this game, they know who Eero is, and Eero is probably one of the best, if not the best kiter in the entire game, or used to be. And they followed the rules, and they didn't play them. So when you saw AO face people in the summer tournament, they actually didn't play with their starting lineup. They played with a different sort of lineup. And the reason why is because they wanted to follow the rules of the format of eligibility for people who can enter the tournament. There are actually multiple teams who had people who are underage. And that's a violation of the rules. You had to be over the age of 16, but you had people who disregarded the rules. They cheated, and there were multiple teams that had people who were underage. Nobody wants to talk about that. That's fine. It's whatever. Let's move on from it. So AO definitely looked bad for what happened, and they should take accountability for it because you got to be on your toes. This is a tournament, and people really want to score a lot. Do I think that they're in the same category as clans such as Inori? No, because Inori tried to manipulate entire seasons. What you have with AO is you had them doing this sort of thing with a couple of games, probably more than that. Who knows? And really, at the end of the day, it looks bad. That's plain and simple. I'm their friend. It's hard for me to be non-biased in this case, or unbiased rather. But let's talk about something else. Let's talk about how there was so here's my problem with the Northern American European server because this is embarrassing. So you have people who played this game mode, this regional tournament, and some of them don't give a damn about the international tournament. They just got a group of friends. They don't care about eligibility. They don't care about any of that. They just want to play with their friends. They want to see how high up they can get, and that's great. Awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. My problem is when you violate and break the rules from the beginning to the end of the tournament, because what you're doing is that you think that the regional tournaments are going to have qualifiers. So what you do is you play with ineligible members who do not qualify because they're either underaged or your team format, 50% of it, doesn't reside in the United States, North America, or Europe. That's a very important point. Everybody knows the rules. If you were to make a team and you want to go into the international tournament, at least 50% of your team has to come from Northern American or the European servers because this is our server. All right? Guess who actually helped create that rule? Your boy created that rule. And I'm going to get to that in a second. The reason why we created that rule is because we wanted to make sure that people from our server were actually going and representing our teams. Okay? So what happens is that you have some teams who entered this format and instead of following the rules, instead of following the very blunt rules of you have to be over 16 and at least 50% of your team has to come from the server, okay? Instead, what happened is that you had people who disregarded that. They played with very good players who are either underage or they played with players who do not reside in the within the servers. And the reason why they did it is because they wanted to get the most amount of points so they could qualify for the regional tournament that's no longer there. So what happened is that there were certain teams who actually disregarded the rules, manipulated the rules, had a team that did not consist of the chemical makeup required to qualify, and then you end up coming in a certain rank, right? And then you start complaining because you don't meet the requirements. Well, the whole point is that, and let me explain what happened. In Call of Abyss 2, it's the same thing. So what you do, the idea is that you disregard the rules, you play with whoever you want to play, even if they're underage, you get enough points, and then when it comes to the regional tournaments, you just change up your team. That was a popular strategy, right? And that's probably what happened here. So in terms of this regional tournament, I don't know the specifics of any teams, but I do want to. There are some things that I can clarify, and then there are some things that I cannot clarify. All right. So let me clarify this. If there is a team, whether you came in first place or second place or third place, and your team, 50% of you do not reside within the server's boundaries, if you don't belong to Northern America or Europe, then you knew willingly upon participating that your team would be disqualified. And so what happens is that if you make a team filled with people who are underage or 75% of your team isn't from America or Northern American or Europe, and then you still want to try to play within whatever tournament, then essentially what you're saying is that you cheated the rules. You completely manipulated the rules, you lied about it, and you tried to get away with it. So you have to qualify within the realm of the rules. So here's what I'm seeing. So actually, let's get back to the point. So I actually did make that rule back in October when we first started working with NetEase. I'm actually going to be super honest with you. All right. When we first did our tournament in October, actually, what NetEase first proposed is that no person with Chinese characters in their name could compete. My staff was present for that discussion because they really wanted it so Northern American and Europe could play in their own server. If you want to compete in a tournament, you got to live here. I actually told them I don't agree with that because I said that we have a very diverse community and that it should at least be 50% or 75%, and that they actually ended up adopting that eventually, okay? Furthermore, there are certain people in this game right now who are from So you have to reside in America. You cannot have a student visa. You have to be a citizen of. There's two continents. There's two continents. You got to be a citizen of one of them. It's actually quite relaxed, right? But you have people who are then trying to say that the development team is racist against Chinese people. Well, the development team is Chinese. Like, they're literally from China. They're all Chinese. So they're not racist against their own people. It'd be kind of weird. Dave Chappelle did a comedy show on that. Okay? So with this whole dilemma in regards to who got invited, who not, what to my understanding, the teams did get a letter from NetEase. Some of them didn't see it. Some of them didn't get the email. Some of them didn't see the email. To my understanding, all the teams actually were contacted. Now, there's a whole bunch of people who are trying to stir drama, trying to tell everybody that AO purchased something out with NetEase and all that stuff. NetEase don't give a damn about our server. In the sense, I mean, look at the evidence. Where's the investment in servers? It's not there. Where's the regional tournament? It's not there. Where's region exclusive stuff? I know some of the other servers have skins that we don't have, right? So where's our exclusivity? Not there. Why have we never actually had a real one-on-one question and answers with the development team? It's always with the other servers, and then we have to rely on other people to translate. We have never once had the opportunity to have a question and answer. Sure, I got to meet the devs, I got to meet the creator in person, which was nice for Call of Abyss 2, but we have never had any question. So there's a luxury of being on those other servers that we don't have. So the regional tournament is gone. Okay? Now, when people trying to say that AO purchased something out of, dude, they don't care enough about us for that. Come on. Are you serious? What is the incentive of sending AO over there? The market to them is our market's pretty much dead. What are they going to get? Like 1,000 viewers, active viewers when they stream Call of Abyss 2? Over in China, they're getting 6,000 active viewers at all times, which is crazy. It's a huge number. So our market, don't pretend like that, like sending a certain team is going to be any more or less relevant. We don't have a footprint. There's no footprint with our server. Let's be real, guys. So sending AO there, you think that they want to send our best team over there? If they wanted to send our best team over there, we'd have a regional tournament to figure out who the best tournament is. So it's literally false. Like, this is a rumor. What you see, I see it on Reddit. I see it on Discord. You got people who are chirping like this, sending all these wrong rumors, all these false rumors. So here's the thing. To my understanding, again, if a team doesn't meet that threshold of 50%, okay, my question is they knew it from the beginning. You knew it from the beginning that if 50% of your members are not from the United States for Northern American European server, then in my mind, I would kind of consider that cheating, because it's not like you're playing to have fun, right? So if you played with underage people and, you know, most of your team's not from the server, then no one cares. You're having fun, right? We're not moralists in that area where we tell you not to do that. But if you purposely manipulate the rules, where instead of, like, there were teams that were created knowing that they operated within the rules, and they couldn't play with their better friends or friends who were better playing with them because of those stipulations. So people created teams within the realm of those rules. There were people who created teams where they couldn't play. Like, for instance, there's a top hunter in this game, a top hunter who's underage. So their friends would have loved to play with them. In fact, they were probably going to be able to go to the tournament. But that underage player can't play. So therefore, that team now must get somebody who is not as good. And so now their team is at a disadvantage to other teams who decided to break those rules and decided to create their own teams regardless of the stipulations. And then you get high up in the rankings, and then you start bitching and complaining that you're not going to the tournament. Well, you literally manipulate. You didn't follow the rules. That's cheating. Like, don't get me wrong. What AO did was wrong. They got caught for a couple, but this is manipulation from the beginning of the tournament. Like, literally every single match of the entire tournament, you manipulated. So my problem with this is that it's a disaster. Multiple teams didn't listen to the rules because other people didn't do it, and they understood that, hey, this team over here has one of the best players, but he's underage. If we can't get this guy, person B, who's really good, but instead we got to get person D because they're over the age of 16, well, we may not get as many points as that team because we know they're cheating. So, hell with it. We're just going to get this person anyways. And then who cares? Because when the regional tournament happens, we'll just change up the players. So let's just kind of manipulate the rules so we get enough points so we can qualify. And then the regional tournament happens and we can switch it up so we actually work within the barriers. But then the regional tournament got removed. So the people who did it, they were kind of left like, oh, shit. Okay? So I see a lot of people now going after each other's throats. You got people who are going after AO. You got people who are going after LBM or whatever the hell their clan name is. You got people who are going after other people. They're all going after each other. And I'm just sitting there, like, I'm watching it, right? I'm watching the people bickering. I'm watching the people troll each other. They're going after, oh, your clan cheated, or you suck, or you suck. I say, well, and at some point, when do you look at the culprit of all of this? The culprit is not all of the teams who didn't follow the rules. The culprit is, I'm sorry, guys, the culprit's not AO. People just will find any reason to hit. What they did was wrong and stupid, but they got probably too friendly with each other, and unfortunately you have people who will take something like that and run with it. You've had people who created illegal teams who cheated the entire tournament, but none of you guys are talking about it. That's cheating. I'm sorry. If you're going to get mad at one team for cheating, you should get mad at all of them for cheating. But then I look at that and I'm like, well, how about we actually get mad at the company that removed the fucking regional tournament? That's probably a good start. So if you have a team who ended up, you forgave AO for that little ploy, right? A couple of games or whatever, right? That was the only evidence. And NetEase went through all of their matches. It was only a few where it triggered something or whatever. What about the teams that did it for every single match? The teams that literally made formats that were illegal. Well, we're just going to turn a bat. Well, we're not going to bat an eye. We're going to turn our head the other way. Well, that doesn't make sense. If you're mad at one team for it, how about you apply that across the board? So my premise is bring back the regional tournament. Take the top 5 teams that actually want to compete. Allow them to reformat. Okay? Allow them to reformat because this has been happening all over the place. Have them duke it out. Because at the end of the regional tournament, nobody can bitch and complain because the best team will win. Have AO face against all the other teams. Let them get their players. Let them reorganize, right? It's unfortunate that some of those teams who did that, who cheated and manipulated their lineups to go against the rules so they could get as many points as possible, okay, which is cheating. There are rules, and you said, hell with them. We want points. Cheating. I feel bad for him because the market's so damn small. What do you expect? We only have like a certain amount of players that you can play with. We don't have this. We don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I remember doing data on season 7 that I never released, and they had, I think, some of them are duplicates, but they had anywhere between 3,000 and 10,000 tier 6 characters on their server. We have what, like 100, something like that. I can go back and look at the data. But I'm saying is that we have such a small market, you only have a certain amount of pool of players that you can choose from. So my argument is what you should probably do is have a regional tournament. Take these teams, let them start from square one, all right? Have them start from square one, let them duke it out, and the team that wins will go to the international tournament. All right, so for the teams that manipulated the rules and created false lineups that were against the rules, they cheated, that is cheating. Square everything away. Say, all right, you know what? There's been a whole bunch of nonsense going on next year. We're not going to tolerate it. For now, let's wipe the slate clean. Let's have a regional tournament. I'll host a regional tournament. NetEase, don't even spend any money. We don't want your damn money. Let us have a regional tournament. Let's get the 5 best teams that want to compete. Allow them to reorganize, start scratch. It's been a disaster to begin with. All right? Let them duke it out. And then whatever team wins, all of the other teams need to shut their mouth because at the end of the day, they lost. Okay? I think that's the best thing to do. Because if you go and you give it to AO, people are going to get mad and pissy. You're going to have the people, you're going to have people who are going to complain and cry about it. Rightfully so, perhaps, right? But what I'm saying is that if I had to choose between a team that manipulated the rules from the start and finished that way, guys, do you know how many teams are cheating? Do you know how many? It's absolutely ridiculous how many teams are cheating. There's so many teams that are throwing matches and are helping each other. It's nonsense. So my point is that start the slate clean. This is an embarrassment for our server. If you get rid of the regional tournaments, no matter who you send, no one will be satisfied. No matter who you send, nobody will be satisfied. You had rules. Stop enforcing some of them at a convenience and address it with the attention that this server deserves. Don't half-ass the decision like you did with the server ping. Don't half-ass it like you did when you removed the regional tournaments. There is an issue. It's an embarrassment to our server. Give it your full attention and say, okay, these are the teams. Let's have them all compete. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't want to send a team to the international tournament who is not actually representative of our server. All right? Winning some little stupid little tournament online with a point system does not mean that you are ready for the best teams out there. I'm not even saying AO is ready. I'm not saying any of them are ready. I'm saying have the regional tournament so the actual best team that's good in tournament gameplay wins, and then we'll all shut up. We'll make a collective agreement as a society, as a server, that we go into the regional tournaments, and whoever wins, you wipe the slate clean. The hell with this AO stuff. The hell with these teams playing with players who are not from our country or from Northern America and Europe. I'm sorry if that sounds bad, but there were rules. And stop saying that NetEase is racist. It's so stupid. Who's saying that? Who's saying NetEase is racist against Chinese people? They're Chinese from China. It's such a stupid argument. I'm going to read your answers. I would like your input on this. I'm being so dead serious right now. This is so stupid. This is such an embarrassment to the server. And unfortunately, people are going to continue spreading rumors. That's all it's going to be. Rumors. It's a whole bunch of high-tier players who are all jealous of each other, and they're going to do anything because in their own way to validate their own skill, they have to bring somebody else down. That's what it is. So you got a whole bunch of butthurt clans with years of tension, which, listen, there's players that I don't like in this server. Actually, I've been making that very apparent that there are players who I don't like, who I don't even want to acknowledge, right? It happens. You're going to have those beef with those people, but this whole, trying to criticize each other and beating each other down with a small community that we have, how about we look at NetEase and say, hey, how about you actually start paying attention to our market? We didn't deserve our regional tournament removed. I'm reading all of your comments right now. Oh, hey, Jokey. Oh, Jokey, I still love you. Yeah. The drama sucks, but you're cute, Persuade. I'm glad that you have poor taste. They sent the invitation to AO first, not the first and second team. That's actually a rumor. That is literally a rumor. So everybody got contacted, to my knowledge. I literally have a picture right here of the dev team. Let me see this real quick. I don't know how much I can talk out. Remember, guys, that just because you got players who cheated who are trying to convince you that they didn't get an invitation. All right, so be careful about that. Some of those teams literally cheated this entire tournament by playing with players that they weren't supposed to play with. So those are the last people that I'm going to take their word for it, okay? Use common sense here. All right? Many of these players are lying right now and being completely misleading. And this is why NetEase needs to address it. NetEase needs to give an official response instead of you guys listening to players who are butthurt. Some of those players tried to tell NetEase that I'm racist. I had to go on call with this too. And there's a certain player that tried to convince NetEase was like, this is such a waste of time. So just be careful about that whole racist line because that's something that a certain person really likes to use a lot when they don't get their own way. Let's see. One of the people, how can I and the devs be racist when we're all Asian like them, LOL? That's their words, not mine. I don't want to see a YouTube video. Persuadable said them. I sent the email to teams from rank 2 to 5 in case anything happened, not just your team. but you are the only one answering me. That's from I'm literally reading from the dev, like right there. So either the dev is lying or you have a whole bunch of children who are making shit up and spreading it. And then all of you guys are catching on fire. You guys are all catching on fire. They're riling you up. This is the sort of attention that they want. All right? So just be careful with that. Be careful with that. In my opinion, they should have a regional tournament. That's my opinion. Let them duke it out. Let's see who wins. Call Me Duty. Yeah, me and Call Me Duty are like so retired right now. Duty doesn't even want to play. Duty should play. We have a chance of doing very well in the international tournament. I still think Duty will always be the #1 hunter on this server, hands down. I'm biased. Don't even ask me. I'm completely biased. I still think he proved that in the summer tournament. Duty proved that he is on a whole different level in that summer tournament. He destroyed everybody. He's an insane hunter, but he got tired of the drama of high tiers constantly talking trash to each other. There's like a few high tiers that I don't like either, so I'm probably part of that problem too. But at the end of the day, he's just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Me and Duty talk every day. Duty said that he's gonna come back to call. He's gonna come back and play Identity 5 with me, so I'm excited. We're gonna play a lot of 2 versus 8. We see all of you survivors dancing at the exit gate, so Duty and I want to come out with a vengeance. Yeah, Duty is still the best hunter, dude. There's nobody that comes close to Duty on this server. There's no way. People don't know that Docman actually kited PPX in a scrim. Docman actually kited PPX for 3 ciphers in a scrim match. And, Doc goes against Duty, and it's just, well, what is this? Duty is on a whole different level. What's going on, Eclipse? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, Blue is an amazing hunter as well. I genuinely mean that. Blue is a good hunter for sure. So, is there any other questions? You guys have any other questions? Is there anything else that I can clear up while we're having this discussion? And the other thing too is don't take this out on like Chinese people and stuff. It's stupid because then you just give that stupid person more ammo. Racist, right? No, it's not racist. You're just a spoiled brat and you're not getting your way. So is AO going to Koa? No one knows. No one knows who's going to Koa of Abyss. No, honestly, I think we should have a regional tournament. But if the devs are going to be fair, if you manipulated the points by playing with an ineligible team, you should be disqualified. Like, it's one thing if you catch people like getting lazy and getting too friendly a couple of matches and stuff. I mean, I've seen so many high tier players do that, and it's stupid. But some people are more guilty than others. If you have a team that literally cheated from beginning to end with an ineligible team, they should technically be disqualified. I'm actually being nice. I'm saying don't disqualify them and have a regional tournament. Have a regional tournament. So at the end of the day, no matter, because here's what's going to happen: if there was a team that violated the eligibility requirements and they go to Call of Abyss, well, they got there because they cheated. How are we going to feel pride about that? And then I know there's people who are butthurt about AO. There's people who are jealous of AO regardless of whether this cheating scandal happened or not. It doesn't make it any better with what happened. But there's going to be people who just ride on them no matter what happens, right? But even if they go, then we got to deal with those people constantly crying and wow. I mean, seriously, they won the summer tournament. If they won the summer tournament against some of the best team formats, you really think that they need to cheat? But either way, I get it. You have every right to feel that way. I'm not discrediting it. I'm just saying they don't really need to cheat. So the point is that you have a whole bunch of teams. Many of them violated the rules in their own way. Let's have a regional tournament and let's square it up. That's my honest opinion. At least AO's team actually met the eligibility requirements, which was from the start. They didn't manipulate the points. They didn't play people who are 15 years old. They didn't play people who are all outside of our server's boundaries. They stuck to it, right? So, and many other teams did as well. So why are you going to send a team to Koa that potentially did not follow those rules? And I know that NetEase should check the IP addresses as well. I'm actually kind of glad that Schmitty is getting a lot of hate from people because Schmitty is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And this is what happens with a lot of people in this Identity 5 community with their envy. There's not a lot of people, but there's a tiny little population of people who like to chirp. And I'm glad that Schmitty is starting to get hated on because it means that he's growing. It means that he's getting popular. It means that people like him for the same reasons I like him, and that's going to drive people wild. It's going to get people really upset because while everybody, there's always that one person where a lot of people, so Grizzly deals with it all the time. You have that one person that a lot of people like, and then you have that one dude who sits in the corner and probably eats his own hair, and he looks at them and says, "Oh, and he starts hating on them for no damn reason because no one pays you attention. That's really what it is. It's a desperate cry for help. Persuade, are you gonna make your own tournament? I'm trying to play for fun. I would love to make a tournament. I come back next week. I come back next week. Right now, we're trying to get prepared. We're going to be expanding Facebook marketing, so I'm going to be pushing my name into the anime community. We also have game reviews that are coming out. I'm very tired all the time. I work. You guys know what I do for a job. So I'm tired all the time. So it's really hard to keep up. And we'll be opening up applications, and the money that I make on YouTube and Twitch, I actually want to pay the people who make us our graphics, like Call Me Duty. He's making me graphics, and I want to pay him. And so the money that I make on YouTube is 100% going into the website. We need people to write anime reviews, gaming reviews, but we need people who are mature, people who are not egocentric. The one thing that I can't stand is this whole like anime gatekeeping. Like, oh, you like that anime? You're not a real anime fan. I don't fuck with those people. That's the I can't. In my generation, I couldn't. I was worried about bringing my manga to high school and shit because I was afraid I was gonna get bullied and shit. So if you watch if you watch anime or read manga, I fuck with you. I don't care if you watch a series that I don't like. We're gonna talk and we're gonna get excited about it. And so that's the sort of energy that I'm looking at. You have all these elitists and oh, you don't read the manga, you only watch the anime, huh, nerd? It's like, all right, well, when somebody sits on your face, then you can talk to me about. Never mind. I don't know where I'm going with that. All right. Anyways, do we have any more questions about Call of Abyss 3? You guys can ask. I know that we have some low key haters in here. You can ask your questions too. I love haters. They're always so fun to play with. So do you guys have any questions? Because I know, like, oh, and by the way, Emrakul released a video. Emrakul released a video showing like Doc Man trying to throw or something like that. Dude, just remember that that was before AO was even created. Trying to say AO cheated, and then shows a video of Docman before AO was even created. I'm sure they probably did shit. I don't even know. I don't even care. But that video is so dumb. Are you still playing Identity 5? I was playing Identity 5 today on my iPad, and I usually play on my phone. And trying to play on the iPad it's so hard. LBM got first place on Masterpiece. They don't meet the requirements to go to Call of Abyss 3. NetEase changes it to AO. Some don't want AO to go because they negotiate with the Hunter drummer started. To my knowledge, I don't. So here's my question about LBM. Wait a minute. Do we still have good? Do we have any members of LBM in this live feed right now? What's going on? Do we have a single LBM member watching right now? Hi, Moz. I have a genuine question for LBM. My question to you is 50% of your people from America or Northern America or Europe? Like I know Blue is and I know John is. Are all of the other folks not from the continent? Like a citizen, not student visa, not that like citizen? Because if they're not, then it means you had an ineligible lineup the entire tournament. I'm genuinely wondering. And John, I love you. I actually I really like John. Like I promise you. I think Blue Race Card. I think it only has to be 3 out of 5. I'm pretty sure 3 out of 5. So who are the members that are from? Because I know you got Blue. Who's the other one? I don't think Liz Flower is. I don't think Lan Lan is, right? They're students. Is she? Yeah, and she don't want to compete though, right? Oh, okay. Lan Lan is Lan Lan. I thought is she on a student visa? I actually don't answer that. That's her private details. And so, if this is the case, then definitely go and talk to the devs and see where that. There's got to be an issue. I don't know. Blue and John, are you saying that you guys definitely didn't get an email? Yeah, it's a permanent resident. So what's the stipulation here? They got to be a permanent resident. Cause literally, I'm looking at a picture right here. I sent the email to teams from rank 2 to 5 in case anything happened, not just your team, but you are the only one answering me. Because as far as I'm concerned, I thought that all of your teams got notified. All of the teams got notified, and that some of you guys didn't see it until yesterday. So if that's the case, then this whole nonsense that they reached only out to AO is fundamentally false. It's propaganda that got circulated, you know? Either way, I hope that as long as there were no rules that were broken, I just want the community to support whatever team we send. Uh, I don't know. I'm literally reading right from here. It says right here, I sent an email to teams from rank 2 to 5 in case anything happened, not just your team. And this is why NetEase needs to address this. You guys all deserve the answer. I'm being honest with you. You guys all deserve the answer. At some point, right? Here's what's going to happen. You guys genuinely have a choice to make. You guys can continue going after each other's throats low key, behind the scenes, out of the public eye, which everybody is doing right now, getting your friends against each other, pitting each other, going after each other, or you guys can collectively understand that the entire server got screwed over by the fact that they removed the regional tournament. Because they removed the regional tournament, it literally put all of our players in this situation. And so I will let you all like squabble and argue and not like each other. That's cool, whatever. But the fact is that my focus is going to be on NetEase because they put us in this situation. I don't like seeing this. A lot of you players have been playing with each other for years. Yeah, you guys might not be each other's favorite people. I know that I'm not everybody's favorite person, but at the end of the day, we're still a community, right? We're still a community, and guess what? That sort of adversary stuff that we have going on right now is actually good. It keeps the market competitive and makes everybody at each other's throat. What happened was is when I first started, if you guys remember, my Discord was the only Discord. I absolutely loved it when I told Boosted that y'all weren't gonna win. Oh my god, that started so much nonsense, right? But it was good because people started to separate a little bit. I remember telling my staff, I go, we're all too friendly with each other because it was just persuadable in everybody versus the Nori. And then the Nori got eliminated because they cheated and none of us wanted that. And then we were all just one community, which was nice. It was fun. But then everybody started to separate a little bit. And did you ever notice that I never tried to prevent that? I never tried to get people to come to my Discord. I was actually happy because people started, first of all, going away, which was nice. So the annoying people I didn't have to deal with. But more importantly, we started having all these little communities and we started having this competition. And then you have people talking trash to each other. And to a certain extent, it's nice. Sometimes we go too far. I know I've gone too far. But we're still a community. Like, at the end of the day, we all face each other. Like, what NetEase has done to the entire community is ridiculous, right? You guys can complain about AO, we can complain about team formats and lineups, and it's cool, it's whatever. But at the end of the day, we got put in this situation where we shouldn't have. There should be a regional tournament. Have Blu-ray's Car and John Zhao two people that I actually really admire. Shit. Is the stream down? You know that I can't. Hey. Oh, is it back up? Am I here? I don't know why this is happening. Yeah, anyway, so this is all full of nonsense, and I hope NetEase responds to it because I am so sick and tired of individual players trying to circulate all of this nonsense, all this information. We need NetEase to do it. We need NetEase to come out and give an official response as to what the hell is going on. All I'm going to tell you, hold on. All I'm going to tell you guys is to be cautious of what all these other players are telling you. That includes me. We need an official response. We need an official source. The only thing that I can offer you is the little screenshots that I'm seeing right now. Yeah, so just so you know, without giving specific details, the second place team you absolutely got contacted because I have a picture of the email. So teams were definitely contacted. I don't listen to. Like, we need NetEase to come on here and to give the official response because there are a lot of people who are either misleading or advertently lying. So I'm not the one. Oh, I got you, Hokage. By the way, I'm not saying that you're lying, Hokage. By the way, I love Hokage. Hokage's had to deal with me for a long time, and she still talks to me despite all of the drama that's happened over the past few years. So I have respect for that. Actually, John and Blue too. I got so much respect for them. But my and I actually mean that. I really do. Don't think that because I've been gone. By the way, Blue and John, that I think any differently from you. Because I like the little competition that was going on between Boosted Clan and all that stuff. I actually enjoyed that. But my point is that you guys are a community. I'm glad that the community is diverse now. There's plenty of teams, plenty of communities. All right. But um, at the end of the day, I still think that it's a tragedy that our server has to go through this. This is nonsense. And although I'm embarrassed by the server with certain cheating that went down and all that sort of stuff and manipulation of team formats and whatever, at the end of the day, the regional tournament should not have been removed. Regional tournament should not be removed because I don't. Now I'm trying to be as polite as possible. Just because you win this tournament that's on there doesn't mean that you're the top number one team. Just because AO came in third place doesn't mean that they're the third best team. Just because XD came in second doesn't mean that they're the second best tournament team. None of that matters. You know what matters? You pit them all together against each other in a tournament style format to see who brings the heat. Don't think that AO is the number one team just because they won the summer tournament. It's a whole different tournament, whole different team format. Okay. My point is let's find out. That's the purpose of a damn regional tournament. But if we send our number, I'm repeating myself now. All right. Do we have some comments, concerns, complaints? Oh, and by the way, the two players that you should not. No, I'm not going to call those two players out. Never mind. That's toxic. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's exclusive skins over there. Can I complain about the lack of dad jokes? I'll have some new dad jokes. I gotta steal them from Google. Yo, mama, stop playing the game. You got too good and you got bored. Wait, how about when they bring an odd number of teams to the tournament? Will they bring 8 from CO3 to finally settle it? Could be 8. You could, well, you know what I'm telling NetEase? I'm telling NetEase, let Grizzly and I host the tournament. They don't need to invest any money in it. We don't care about MCs being flown out to Taiwan or China and dressed in suits. We don't need that. We don't need the extra marketing. We don't need you to give anybody a cash prize. All right, whatever team makes it. How about this? Whatever team makes it, uh, I don't know, Dan, are you still watching? I thought Dan said he was gonna give money to whoever won because I know I pledged money. I don't even remember how much money I pledged. Somebody tell me how much money I pledged. Whatever team goes is getting my money anyways. Does anyone remember how much money I pledged? See, this is what happens when I talk a lot of shit and I forget what I say. Dan, how much money did we say that we were gonna give to the team that represents our server? No, it wasn't $70. I thought I said like 250. Oh, 300. All right, I said 300. Okay, yeah. So the persuadable team, including Dan, will donate $600 to whatever team wins the regional tournament. NetEase, I don't even want you to pay anything. Let us have a regional tournament. Let us have it. Grizzly and I will host it, all right? Or Grizzly will, or I will, or whatever. Probably Grizzly because my connection sucks right now. The community will run the damn tournament, and the winner of the regional tournament, I'll organize it so it runs smoothly. Fun fact, every tournament I've ever ran, which is 2 or 3, has always ran smooth, no matter how many teams. All right? So we'll run the tournament. I'll pay the cash prizes. I understand NetEase makes billions of dollars, but if you're going to short staff the server, then I'll just pay it myself. My point is that we deserve a regional tournament. We don't. We understand that our market's not as big as everybody else's, but we're still people. We still fund your server. We still fund your game, even though you don't do anything for us anymore, except bitching about the summer tournament disaster behind the scenes. And let us square it up. You know, there's that old sort of thing where if two people got beef, let them go outside and resolve it. Actually, I think that's very terrible. I think you should be able to resolve it with your words, but I'm trying to be that like machismo sort of like man right now. I'm not good at it. But the point is that let the people beef it out, and so at the end of the day, whoever wins the regional tournament, everybody else shuts up. I mean, I don't know how you can feel pride winning that and then going to internationals. You should. Oh my god, yo, that just scared the shit out of me. Somebody just subscribed to me and that went in my ear. Yo, did y'all see me just jump up? Every time somebody subscribes, I get a sound, and somebody just subscribed and it went in my ear. Dude, did you? Yeah, I'm taking these headphones. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I almost peed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I almost peed. Yo, that just scared the shit out of me. Jesus. Whew. All right. Anyways, oh my god, no, I'm not lying. My heart is jumping right now. Whew. Oh god, I'm getting old. I'm like getting fidgety now. Like the older I get, like I'm looking around. All right. Anyways, yeah. So I vote for a regional tournament. So whoever wins, whoever just did that, I'm so glad I took the headphones off. Yeah. Whoever wins the regional tournament, everybody else can be quiet. Okay. So on that note, yeah, I almost peed myself a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. At least I don't lie. No, no, I am. Yeah, no, I'm not the world's best role model because don't think that just because I care about the community. I really do. I've always spoke my mind. I always kind of keep it honest, right? That gets me in trouble a lot. Um, there's literally in my time. If you think so, if you're somebody who's watching right now, and if you think that I don't like you, even if we've disagreed, even if we've gone at each other's throats, there in this entire history of this game, there is only one person that I don't like. That person knows who they are too. You could probably find that on Reddit. There's only one person that I don't like because they're a snake. They cause drama, they talk crap, and they always try to keep their hands clean. Um, anyways, the community and even that person, I'm rooting for them because I know once they grow up, they're going to be a great person. They're still a great person. They're just childish. Anyways, actually, I can be childish too at times. I'm being careful because then they'll probably like release screenshots from like 8 months ago of me telling them that they're trash because I didn't like them. Anyway, so those screenshots exist, man. There's just some people that I get. It's funny. You try to be like a nice person, but there's some people that just get under your skin, and I know I do that to some people. There's some great people out there, and I just get under their skin. That's just the nature of the world, baby. You're not gonna be upset about it. It's how we work. But I still want the community to make sure that you guys don't absolutely kill each other, because at the end of the day, you're being stiffed by a company that their quarter 3 profits, I think, were like 11% or something in 2019 in November, and they're worried about a couple $1,000. Yo, let's run a regional tournament. I don't think, first of all, NetEase doesn't even care about me, so they're not gonna listen to me anyways, and I don't blame them. But I'm just saying it's a disaster, and everybody deserves to be heard, and they should give an official response for sure. You guys are so funny. Anyways, guys, so yeah, so this is a live feed. I'm not answering any questions anymore. So I want y'all to know you guys are beautiful. I'll be back very, very soon. I feel energized, taking a break from YouTube. I definitely will be covering Identity 5 again. There's a lot that I would like to come out with. But I am making a really big push into the anime community, and that's going to be a 2-3 year long project that starts soon. And we got a lot coming out. Just remember, you guys can keep going after each other's throats. You can still be bitter and keep bitching about AO. You guys can be bitter and bitch about LBM and all these other teams if you want. At the end of the day, what you really should be upset about is the fact that we got robbed of a regional tournament. And I'm just saying that if I was a competitor, I would feel no pride going into the internationals based on some distorted new rule that they removed the regionals. I would like the regionals, so whatever team goes, we can all collectively say, okay, the screw with, like, the hell with all this drama. These guys won the regional tournament. Let them go. They are the people who won the tournament. Let them go. Let them compete. Regardless, I know the persuadable team is pledging $600 to whoever is going. I know that it can be complicated trying to get passports and trying to pay for certain things. I know some of you guys are financially hurting, and I get that as well. I grew up poor my entire life. So my point is that when you become a competitive gamer, there's costs that you don't think about, including getting your passport. Your families need to get passports sometimes, so maybe that money can help you out. But regardless of, and that's my unbiased opinion in regards to making sure you understand that at the end of the day, I just want our server to go there to kick ass and to try to represent us well. I'm gonna say the same thing that I said last year. I think that our server is undervalued sometimes. I think that people don't acknowledge the skill set that does exist. I think that we don't have as many players, but I think that we have the potential of. I think there is a skill cap in this game. So regardless of whether you come from China or Taiwan or Japan, or if you're from Korea, South Korea, or if you're from Europe or US, I think that regardless of how big the market is, I think that there is a skill cap from 1 to 10. And I think that we have players here who are 8, a 9, some even a 10, just like some of the players in the big servers are. And the only difference is that they just have faster games and more people in the market. So I'd really like our server to go there. I hope that the community supports whichever team makes it. And like I said, you got a pledge of money from me. And yeah, that's just my own opinion on the matters. I hope you guys all have a good night. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go eat some pizza rolls and chill. You guys are all great people. Let's have some fun. I'm back. I'm back. I took a nice long break. I needed it, and I'm focused. You guys all have a good night. Thank you for watching. I genuinely mean that. I really do.